that drone montage on your homepage has never booked you a single tour. And I'm a videographer saying this, so why am I actually shooting myself in the foot by telling you cinematic videos don't work for booking tours? Because this is the truth. They work for making your brand look cool, winning awards, getting applause from your peers, but they don't work for building trust. And trust books tours. You don't have a lead problem. You have a trust problem. Every traveler, before they book a tour with anybody, asks 3 simple questions. Is it safe? Is it worth the money? And can I trust these people? A cinematic video answers none of that. Literally, none of those questions go answered. And if the answers to these questions aren't obvious, you'll end up losing bookings to the bigger operators in your niche. Because why? They've simply been in business for longer than you, or they have a bigger name than you, so people assume that they can just trust them over you. And this is why you need to stop copying the trends, because you're probably thinking the bigger operators in your niche, they have cinematic videos. Surely that's working. You need to copy that, right? It's the industry standard. It's what every agency is selling you. But no, for a smaller operator, quote unquote, punching above your weight, you can't copy the same strategy, because really it's not even working. It's just working as a default. They're literally people just defaulting to that company because, like I said, they've been in business for longer and they're a bigger name, they're more recognizable. You need to focus on raw content that builds trust with your audience, because when your audience can trust your company, they're gonna book your company every time, and soon you will become the big operator that everyone is trying to compete with. Now, please don't get me mistaken when I speak about raw content. I'm not talking about unprofessional, shaky iPhone videos, bad audio, bad everything. Like, no, I'm not talking about amateur stuff. It's still professional and it still looks good. Because look at this logic. You have a beautiful setting where you host your tour. If you take good footage of it, it's automatically going to look beautiful. You can't have bad footage of your tours because they're hosted in such beautiful places of the world. All you need is professional videography. But this is what makes it raw. Instead of a montage of cinematic edits, it's actually, what does a day in the life look like? What does the food look like? It's a guide speaking about what happens if it rains. It's a guide explaining why such an animal is endangered or indigenous to this place. It's real life, actual scenarios of what a person is going to experience on your tour. It's showing the person like breaking the fourth wall. They're literally getting a preview of what they're going to experience. And there's a nice analogy I like to use. It's, yes, you're showing the people what they're going to experience, but it's not giving them the experience. It's giving them a little taste of the experience. It's like me telling you what it feels like to hike Mount Everest. You're not going to know what it feels like to hike Mount Everest. You only know what I tell you about it. You can only, if I show you what it looks like, you can say, wow, that looks beautiful, but you won't experience that awe, that excitement, that thrill of actually being at the tippity top of Mount Everest, having climbed down, having climbed up this mountain, the transformation you experience as a person. You can't experience that through simple videos or someone speaking about it. But you can see proof of that experience existing, and you can desire it more for yourself. That is what the raw content does. It builds trust with your audience. They see it for themselves. They see the guide speaking about it. They have their questions answered. They see what a day in the life looks like, and it ticks all the boxes. It answers all the silent questions that they have, because they already want to go on this experience. They're looking into this experience. They're watching your videos because they are already interested. So all your videos need to do is move them closer and closer to making the buying decision by building trust, because trust is the #1 factor that people take into consideration when booking a tour. Having said what I've said, I have my do-rag on. I totally forgot to take off my do-rag. Okay, that was a little break of the fourth wall. I forgot to take off my do-rag, but here I am. I did my hair just for you, and then I forgot to do the great reveal before I started recording, but voila, here it is. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Alongside having videos that build trust, one of the greatest cheat codes, one of the greatest methods that are going to help you in building this trust is having a familiar face. Because people buy from people, not logos. So when your brand can be associated with a friendly face that can communicate what an experience feels like, can communicate what transformation your audience will go on when booking your tour, they're going to trust it so much more, trust that the information is real and genuine because they can actually see the person going through the experience. And this is something I've realized through just documenting my own journey, learning how to surf on YouTube, getting loads of comments of people enjoying my work, saying that I've inspired them to start surfing, my transformation inspired them to start surfing, even asking me for surf lessons and stuff. And I took that logic. I was like, well, I don't offer surf lessons. I don't make videos for people because they're also asking me for videos. I decided, well, let me help people that do have something to offer. And I like adventure. So I started working with adventure companies like African Budget Safaris. We did a Namibia to Victoria Falls tour where we did a full FAQ series answering frequently asked questions that their audience have that stops them from booking tours. Any objections, any concerns, we answered those while on tour. I documented the experience going on, and every video is a specific goal of answering a specific question that their audience has. So if ever that question comes up in a conversation, here's the video. They can see it for themselves instead of just having to trust it on face value that what their consultant is telling them is true. Furthermore, before they even make the inquiry, they're probably doing research about the tour, trying to get these questions answered. And when they find out YouTube videos explaining and answering their questions, they're already pre-sold by the time they make the inquiry. So it's no more a sales conversation, it's now an order booking call. And there's actually real numbers to go with this. I help African Budget Safari 6.5x their subscriber count. They're now on 777 subscribers as of recording this video, already in the YouTube partner program. So they're now getting paid to post videos that pre-sell and qualify their leads before they even make inquiry. They're getting paid to market their business, essentially. We've amassed 97,000 plus views, over 4,300 watch hours. That's people sitting down watching your channel for 4,300 hours. That builds so much trust for your audience that you have so much content that they can actually watch so many hours of your footage, of your videos, explaining why their decision to book with you is ultimately going to be the right decision. So the trust is won, and that's evergreen content. We've uploaded this content over the last year, and our oldest videos are actually still the ones getting in the most views and bringing the most subscribers. So that goes to show that trust building content, answering questions that your audience is already asking, putting that content where your audience is already looking for it, because remember, YouTube is a search engine, not just a social media sharing platform. It's actually owned by Google. So YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. So oftentimes when people ask questions on Google, it will recommend them YouTube videos if your videos are optimized correctly and those keywords work correctly. I've even had the owners of African Budget Safaris tell me that YouTube videos are now ranking higher in Google search and helping them compete with huge players in the niche that often dominated keywords. And this is just from posting YouTube videos. They went on to say that YouTube has been overall their greatest investment in social media. So now I challenge you to look at your homepage. Does your most viewed video, does that video sitting on top of your homepage answer any questions that your audience have? Does it address any objections that your dream client has? If it doesn't, well, you know what to do. And if you need any help in implementing this strategy of using YouTube to build trust and making trust building content that pre-sells your audience before they even make an inquiry, check out the first link in the description. You can see my website, see what the evergreen marketing machine looks like in practice and how it can work for your business. Watch this video next if you got value from this one, and leave a subscribe if you'd like to.